Okay, well, I've just heard from the transport company that are coming to collect this 1949 Dodge and take it to Ibiza. So, big excitement here for the car. It's going on a long journey. But I think what we're going to have to do tomorrow, apparently, is that it's going on a big transporter, which is too big to come into my property. So I'm going to drive this car to a lorry park, which is just down the bottom of the road, and it's going to be loaded on. But we better check and see that this car is still going to start all right. Because we've been having some cold weather. So we put the choke out. I thought it might not need it because it doesn't often need the choke, but it's cold, damp weather, so we'll try again. Right, that's started. I think we'll run that a little bit. Whoops. I'm going to let this run a little bit and warm, because tomorrow morning... No. Try keeping the choke. It doesn't like the choke out too much, and it tends to be either in or out, that choke. If it's out, it doesn't like it, and if it goes in too early, then it also doesn't like it. Oh, there you go. I think the problem here is this cold weather. I think we'll let it run for a bit, and then hopefully tomorrow morning, when we start it up to go down to meet the transporter, everything will be fine. Right, well, that's ticking over reasonably well. That's ticking over well now. And what I'm going to do is to put a brand new oil filter in the back here with all the other bits and pieces. We'll shut this down, and I'm going to lock this. Right. I think I'll just see how the 47 Dodge is getting on, because that's going to go for its MOT on Monday. We'll see how that starts. We put the choke out on that one. Right, that starts okay at the moment, so we'll come back. Right, so there we are. It's all ready to go. We'll come back tomorrow morning and hope that it'll start, everything will be fine, and we'll drive it down and meet the transporter down at the lorry park. Well, everything always happens at once, and this morning seems to be a lot going on here with cars. Anyway, in an hour or so they're going to come and collect my Jaguar here to take it for a service and an MOT, and also I'm going to try and get a tiny little bit of scuffing I did off the bumper, which is just this little tiny bit here. So I think what we'll do here is we'll start the car up just to let it warm up. Put that on to defrost and just let that run for a minute. That starts easy, doesn't it? But the other thing that's happening this morning is the transport people are coming to collect my Dodge, which is going to Ibiza. What I'd like to do first is to put an extra bit of fuel into it. The Dodge is going in. It's going in a transporter today, and it's going to Ibiza. But I'm just going to put a bit of fuel into it, just to make sure. It should have sort of fuel in it, all right, no problem. But I just wanted to make sure that it had enough. I don't want it to run out any time, so I'm going to put in the bit of fuel here that I've got in this can. So we put some fuel in the car. And now we're going to start it up. It's very cold this morning, and so we'll get it started and hopefully we'll get it running for a bit. So we've got the choke out. Right, well that started pretty good. We're going to let it run for a bit now. Put some lights on. They're on dipped, so we got main beam and dipped, and of course they change on the floor. Little button on the floor. Right, we'll put the car into reverse and just so put the clutch in, up into reverse, it's towards us and up. Handbrake off. Put the foot on the brake and let the clutch out. So whoops, that's it, right? A little jolt. So it's in drive, it's in reverse. I got my foot on the brake and no clutch in, and it's not stalling. But as I let the clutch out, the brake off, the car starts to move back. And I've got the choke in. I'm going to put the choke in halfway. Right, so the car is just moving actually on the revs without me touching the throttle. Like an automatic. I'm just controlling it by the brake. Condensation coming out of that exhaust. Okay. So clutch in and then down into first. Clutch out. Still got my foot on the brake. As I let my foot off the brake, I go to the throttle. Whoops, and it dies. Right. Take it into neutral. Just let it warm up a little bit. It's very cold moment here. It's about 3 or 4 below zero. I mean, these cars, the block is so big. It takes a few minutes for this really to start warming up. And it doesn't really like the choke out, so I'm going to put that choke in. That's in now. Right, we've got good lights at the back. That's those new LED bulbs I put in. They're excellent, excellent. That's lovely. Look at that. I like that. Got lights at the front. That's very good. I replaced one of those bulbs recently. Okay. Pull the fan on here. So put the fan on and then we'll pull the lever out. This will get the air coming up, and it's coming out. You can feel that. It's cold at the moment, but it's coming out onto the windscreen. So we go down. We're going to go take the car around here. Trying to drive it with one hand here, with the camera in the other. I quite like the steering once it's moving. So we'll park it here. Just let it run for a bit. Turn the lights off. Handbrake on, let the car run. See how the Jag's been getting on. Turn this off a minute. Right. We'll let the Dodge run. I think we'll put this aerial down. Save that getting damaged. That's better. Time to pick up the Jag. Hello. Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks. I saw, I think the couple...
That little tiny bit and a little, that's all it is.
Yeah, yeah.
That's one's done, isn't it? Yeah. So that's all we need, isn't it?
Yeah, and maybe they, if they haven't got an add-on book, then they can put a...
Because it's a shame, because it's got Jag stamps all the way from new.
Right. Please check the service history book, which service needs doing, and we'll take the car to a body shop for the marks.
Okay, fine.
So, what I'll do is I'll just put on the back here an invitation.
You've got a nice job, you just drive these Jags around all over the place and sign it there.
No.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Yeah, lovely.
Thank you.
Drive carefully.
Yeah, will do.
Take it easy. Thanks, bye. Right, well, the Jag has gone. The Mercedes is warming up. And now we're going to take the Dodge down to see the transport people. So start it up again. Let it just warm up a second. So the demisters here are working. I mean, they're not as good as a modern car, but they do work, and you can see. So I went from first straight into top there. The sun's very bright this morning. Very difficult to drive facing into the sun. Fortunately, the transport guy is not very far away from the house. So where we're headed now is to the, there's a lorry park here, truck stop, and a cafe for lorry drivers. And that's where he's taking his big transporter to, because it's too big to come down the lane here, really. Got the right place. Doesn't seem to be anyone here. I'm just stop looking for it. Right, I think this is the car transporter now. So he's going to take one of the cars off, and then he's going to put the Dodge a bit further up. Waiting to go onto the transporter. You see how cold it is, all that condensation coming out of that exhaust. It's lovely. This is the Dodge's last little drive in the cold weather here of England, and it'll be, in a day or so, or whatever, it'll be driving around Ibiza, I guess.
Yeah, I'll drive it on.
Okay. The got fluid drive. I don't know if you know how that works. No, I'll show you. Because it's quite handy. Use the clutch, change gear. H,
Yeah.
reverse, towards you, reverse, and first. Okay?
Right,
and then you don't need the other gears.
Right.
But the point is, put it into gear, and you put the brake on.
Yeah.
You let the clutch out. It's in gear.
Right.
So
yeah.
it's got like a torque converter, but it's so you can take the handbrake off, so you can see it with the creep.
Right, yeah,
So it makes it easier to drive from that point of view. So, but you have to put the clutch in to change gear. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So if the handbrake's on, it's in neutral. And that document, do you take that with you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's a V5 form.
Does these seats slide forwards or?
There's a little lever here, you can pull it forward a bit. I've never put it forward myself, yeah. Okay, you alright?
Yep.
Good job there. See the stoplights there. I've got them on both sides as well as in the middle. When the car was designed and built, it only had stoplights in the middle. There we go. So he's just having a check of the car and doing some paperwork. Good luck and have a nice journey.
Yeah. I'll just start strapping all down and put that one
Yeah.
back on.
Okay. Strapping it all down. And then, as he says, it's off to Madrid. So the car's going to go on the drive all the way down to Portsmouth, I guess. I suppose Portsmouth. And then it's going by sea to Spain. Very busy here. And then it'll be off to Madrid and eventually to meet its new owner and to Ibiza. The driver's putting the other car on here that's going somewhere or other. So the Dodge has got a mate. Looks a funny sight on the motorway. All those sort of modern sports cars and everything, and then there's the old Dodge. Let's hope it has a good journey, and hopefully we'll hear from it when it arrives in Ibiza.